This is the Audi RS7. It could be argued that the Audi RS7 could be comparable to an all-wheel drive Hellcat.
Going on my daily commute.
It has a twin turbocharged V8. It's a very big car, but there's one thing that separates the RS7 to the Hellcat, and that is beating supercars in ultimate luxury. They may not be exactly like the Hellcat, but there is a lot of German muscle DNA. So is the RS7 really worth the giant price tag? And why would you get this over an AMG? Let's go for a drive and find out.
Today, ladies and gentlemen, we are in one of my favorite cars ever made. It doesn't matter if it's American, German, Japanese, whatever. The Audi RS7 is a car that I spent a ton of time in 2016. I went from Denver, Colorado, all the way to Seattle, Washington in an Audi RS7. But this was in 2016, so it's a little bit older of a version, but even back then, I absolutely loved it because to me, if I could only own one car ever the rest of my life and it was sporty and did everything I wanted, the RS7 is definitely up there. The reason I say that is you have diamond stitch leather, a perfect interior pretty much, flat bottom steering wheel. It feels like a sports car, it handles like a sports car, but it's a big body sedan. So people in the back seat, they have plenty of room for the most part. It's a little tight with the lower roof line, but if you're a normal average height, you're completely fine back there. In fact, during Adventure Drive with the RS7, I actually volunteered to sit in the back all the time because it feels like a luxury, chauffeur car as you drive around. This one makes 614 wheel horsepower and 676 pound-feet of torque. Instantaneous power out of this 4.0 liter V8 twin turbo that is actually the exact same motor that's in the Lamborghini Urus. So the Lamborghini Urus, that's why a lot of people say, oh, it's literally just an Audi underneath, because it is. And you get, my God, you barely get on it and it snaps and crackles. So give me a second. The thing about it, man, these cars are fast. Okay, it has pretty much zero turbo lag because of how the twin turbos are set up. When you pop the hood, just like any German car, you can't really see the motor or anything. They have plastic covering up everything. But the actual way it works, jeez, dude. The way it works and how the turbos are mounted creates a absolutely perfect spool pattern. It just instantly spools up. The great thing is, as you're trying to keep yourself from going off the road driving this all-wheel drive sedan, it has a heads-up display. I'm staring right at the glass that nobody else can see in the car. The gauges, standard gauges, stuff you'd find in any other Audi. The infotainment system screen is absolutely massive in the center, but very easy to understand. You can hook up your phone, all that good stuff. The center console is carbon fiber. The dash has real carbon fiber. The door panel has carbon fiber. It feels like an expensive car when you're driving it. You wanna know why? Because it is an expensive car. It's over $100,000. So the car better have pretty much everything. If you look at the transmission, it is an automatic transmission, but the shift knob, they made it look like it's a manual, so it kind of tricks you at first. But we're driving in sport mode. And in sport mode, what you do is you go into drive and then you tug it once. It just a little tiny tug and it goes boom and it goes into sport mode. On the screen, it goes from D to S, and that's how you get all the snaps and crackles and pops, and you're free to downshift with the paddles. It just, God, it just wants to go all the time. Okay, so these cars are all-wheel drive. You know what that means. Okay. Like, it just does the thing. That was 0 to 60 and God knows what. I don't even know. It was fast. So the auto in this thing shifts blistering fast. I mean, like, there's almost no delay in this thing. Ah, it's great to have the ability to downshift. Golly, that third gear just rips and tears, dude. Hell yeah. And it's crazy because the RS7 is one of those cars that has this crazy power potential, right? Out of the box, you're like, all right, 560 something horsepower. That's still a lot. Like, that's a lot for a big body sedan like this. But right out of the gate, if you do bolt-ons, full bolt-ons, and tune, just tuning these cars, you can go crazy with the power. Back when I had experience with the RS7 on that road trip, we were pulling on cars like McLaren MP4-12Cs, we were pulling on C63 AMGs, absolutely no problem. C63 AMG, stock, RS7. Okay, so we're getting the jump, and I'm gonna call it for you, okay?
Okay.
1, 2, 3, go. I have to say though, I touched on it earlier, but the RS7 is one of the most comfortable cars I've ever driven. And somehow they created these luxury seats with the diamond stitched leather, but yet they still hold you in place like a racing seat in a lot of ways. It's not like big giant Recaros or anything, but yeah, it still holds you in place. I'm not gripping onto the steering wheel. It's not making me paranoid. The thing about German cars, I have such a disconnect with a lot of the German cars, and that's not because I think they're bad cars. It's because I think some of them are so good now that they kind of lack that fear factor or personality, right? RS7 has a lot of character. I mean, it's banging it, it's making these loud pops. It's visceral. The turbos, when they come on, are very theatrical, right? As soon as that first and second gear goes, that third gear and fourth kicks in, and you're just like, my face is getting ripped off, and it's glorious. Another thing I want to talk about is the Audi RS7's aerodynamics. What's really neat about it, it has this beautiful roofline, right? It just sweeps over from the hood all the way back, mean grille up front, mean lights up front, and then out of nowhere, this hydraulic looking wing comes, that was loud, this hydraulic wing just comes up and gives it downforce. So it has that supercar feel in a non-supercar, essentially. Like, I feel like the RS7 is more thrilling to drive than the Audi R8 is. And you're gonna hate me for saying that, but this car is a scarier, quote unquote, experience or more thrilling experience than the Audi R8, because the Audi R8 is a super tamed out Lamborghini, right? And it doesn't have a lot of torque. This has so much torque, and torque is what makes a car nuts, right? So this car's torque, man, everything, it's absolutely bananas. So like, I'll be in, this is third gear. Nuts. 3, 2, 1, go. Bam. Oh yeah, by the way, first of all, that launch was amazing. Second of all, the brakes on this thing. The brakes are so big that if you look at the rotors, they have like they basically cut them out on the ends for cooling. They have these kind of ridges on them all the way around. Kind of looks like a gear. So it kind of ridges around all the way around the rotor for cooling. I mean, if you think about it, it's the same philosophy as drilled and slotted, but it's just something unique. You don't see that often. Okay, so we've gone full send in a straight line in this thing. What's this thing on a mountain road? Let's do it. Blind hill. Golly, you feel the whole up to speed and you literally feel the downforce working. It is absolutely insane. It's so nuts to me how Audis, I don't know what it is about them. Like, maybe it's because it's a V8. Maybe it's because it's twin turbo V8 and it has that kind of sense of anger to it. You know, the M4 does not seem like a very angry car when you're driving it. When you drive an M3, it's not an angry car. They're just so buttery smooth that there's not a lot of thrill factor. Yeah, they're fast, but they don't make me go, oh my God. Like, this car, if you're not used to anything like this, will make your eyes pop out of your head. And look, I'm just, even when I'm not going fast, going on my daily commute with somebody in front of me, I'll just show you how fast the turbo kicks on and I'm gonna let off, okay? You know, I'll do third because third is usually a gear in a turbo car that takes a while. All right, 3, 2, 1, full throttle, turbo spooled up instantly. All right, against the wall. Dude, I could do this all day long. So, the Audi RS7. What do I think of it? I wish I didn't want one. I would absolutely daily drive one of these in a heartbeat. Do you like the other cars more? Like, say, the RS6 Avant that's coming to the States? Do you like the RS3, the RS5? Let me know in the comment section below. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. And I will see you guys next time. And take it easy. Have a wonderful day. Goodbye.
This video is brought to you by Patterson Car Care. Get double of premium original detail product for half the price. Head over to PattersonCarCare.com or go to the link in the description below.